So guys, today is the 1st of December, and obviously, as always, I'm gonna talk about 4 changes that guiding passed to the developers that were suggested by players that I think need to be added in the next update. Okay, we're gonna continue to do these videos you seem to like a little bit, so yeah, let's start with one of the aircraft, the MiG-31, guys. Yes, the MiG-31 was passed to the developers for consideration, and it's an aircraft that of course is very much loved, and it's a very unique aircraft. You would have a very specific way of flying, but I still believe that it should be added. Of course, in some maps it would be not the greatest thing ever, but it would be good enough. Remember, this is the evolution of the MiG-25 basically. It is pretty much the 80s or very late 70s, but like mainly 80s interceptor of the Soviets, you know, used a PESA radar. It had, of course, the R-33 as its main missile. It is basically a semi-active radar homing missile with a very good INS system that has a very long range, similar to like the AIM-54 and stuff, but instead of being active, it is semi-active. And how does it actually compare itself to the AIM-54? Well, the thing is, because it's semi-active, you need to get the lock, but the PESA radar does the job. Why? Because they made it so that the radar of the aircraft is so good that you could actually hard lock 4 targets at once and then fire 4 missiles at each target with semi-active radar homing. The idea here was that with that, you would basically have a lighter missile that could have better performance, more range, more turn, everything. Because the seeker of the semi-active radar homing is lighter than the active radar homing, right? And then all the work of the radar and stuff that would be carried to the missile itself is still on the aircraft, right? So this is the idea. This radar was very advanced at the time. It weighed like a ton or something like that. It was really heavy, but still the engines are very good. They are the D30s, one of the strongest engines ever made for a fighter. Overall static power, if I'm not mistaken, is around 300 kilonewtons, so it's a very strong aircraft. The thrust weight would be around 1.44, the max thrust weight probably in a lighter configuration, right? So the aircraft had an amazing acceleration, amazing climb rate, amazing top speed. It was Mach 2.5, let me check, 2.83, 3,000 kilometers per hour. Some sources even claim that it can go faster if you really want to damage the aircraft, but yeah, 2.83 is already pretty fast, right? And 200 meters per second of a climb rate. It wouldn't turn, that's a problem with it, but at least it has a cannon, it has better missiles, the same cannons as the Su-24, and yeah, it's just overall an aircraft that would have a very unique playstyle, but it could be very amazing. Like, it could be great in the right hands, right? It wouldn't be for everybody, but still it would be good. It still has the R40 TD1s, which are very advanced versions of the R40 of the MiG-25, IR versions, you know, with data link, with all these things. Of course, our 60Ms could be used. You know how it is, right? So it is very good. And yeah, technically the R40 TD can even have a lock-on after launch capability apparently, so you could actually launch it with an IRST lock or radar lock, and then the missile would acquire the IR guidance once you get closer to the target, and the seeker can get the target. So very good interceptor, very unique but very interesting, right? Another vehicle would be the FV-101 Scorpion. Of course, we had the Scimitar being added in one of the latest patches, and of course the Scorpion would be a very similar vehicle to that. Reconnaissance, British, same kind of chassis, but the main thing is, instead of using the normal like auto-firing cannon that the Scorpion, the Scimitar has, it would have a 76 kind of low velocity L23 gun, 76 millimeter, right? So this could carry like hash, heat, stuff like that could actually penetrate the targets very well. Okay, so very interesting tank. I always love the Scorpion and don't know why this thing isn't in the game yet. So yeah, it was passed to the developers. I think actually, let me just correct myself. It's not heat. It's high explosive, just not high explosive. Sorry. Hash, smoke, and canister. So the hash would be the main round, or the heat, the HE, right? So yeah. Another one is night battles for RRB. This was passed to the developers, which is interesting. Honestly, I know a lot of people wouldn't like it, so why not just add an optional night battles for air realistic battles? You would be seeing less and less, like the ground battles, but the system is already in the game, so why not just add it for the air battles as well? Maybe for higher tiers, when you have radars and night visions and other things like that, because night battles could be a problem if you cannot find anything flying around, especially if you are slow in a prop aircraft, you know. So it would be problematic, but for higher tiers with radars and stuff, it wouldn't be. It would be very cool, it would be interesting, and even a test of making sure that the markers are not that powerful. And then with that test, how it would be in air battles with almost no markers, right? So hopefully that gets added. It would be very cool. And the last one that I wanted to talk about is one for the Royal Australian Air Force F-18A, right? With the Hornet upgrade program. So he's basically suggesting that there is an Aussie you know, F-18, maybe it would be added for the British, I would say, probably, right? But yeah, an Aussie F-18A that can basically be upgraded to be more or less what the F-18C is going to be. There are some leaks out there, some rumors that they're gonna jump the F-18A anyway, right? They're gonna just jump for the F-18C to be able to add the M120 and everything. And I feel like kind of a change from what Gaijin used to do. They used to just add the first production model, then the second, the main one, you know, and then a final one, for example. And in the case of the last like year of updates, you see like things like the Su-24, well, they just jumped straight to a later version that has many other types of missiles and bombs and everything, right? So we could see this. So what it would be actually an F-18A with many upgrades that would basically almost make the F-18A a C. So even the radar, the APG-73 would be there, of course M120s, you know, guided bombs, guided missiles, stuff like the Harpoon, stuff like the AGM-158, Lightning II pod, JDAMs maybe, paveway bombs, stuff like that, right? So, and especially the M120, AIM-9Ms, you know, stuff like that. And it would be cool to see it for the British, maybe, as a Canadian vehicle. I mean, Australian vehicle, right? So, it would be very cool, in my opinion. It even has a helmet-mounted display. And yeah, it can actually carry the SRAM as well, but I wouldn't doubt, of course, it can carry older missiles at first, until we get those missiles in the game, right? But yeah, guys, basically these are 4 things that Gaijin passed it to the developers for consideration that I think needs to be added as soon as possible. I think there are 4 very cool things. Leave it in the comments, all the things that you want to see, just to make sure I don't go past by it. Wallet Warrior suggested the MiG-31 for them. Nathan Clawfish suggested the Scorpion. Naughty's Unable suggested the night battles, and for the F-18 it was Sir Basse Maxine. Okay guys, so I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, see ya, bye.